Ooh. Hello, beautiful ether. I have not been making much of anything, and I think I know why. Because this creative station here is an absolute mess, so figured I was gonna go through some stuff, get what doesn't belong in here out, and why not pop on safe and live. I made it that far before freaking out. I must have been totally. Okay, so where does this go? Got a big old pile of stuff here because I've been, okay, so I've been wanting to go through the family pictures I have left, I should say, and they're in a big old bin right here. And my Christmas. A little fake one, and it could be the same one every year. And last year we went with a pink tree, and it's the perfect pink. It reminds me of like 90s Barbie pink. I really like it, and it looks excellent with plaid, a red plaid. Oh, that's probably hard to conceptualize, but I'm telling you, it looks amazing. Some of my favorite color combinations or pattern combinations is from just like shreds or scraps. Like for instance, on my desk there'll be some beads left over, and the colors that are just there end up going perfectly together, and it's like a combination I wouldn't have thought of. And one of my biggest issues with art, crafts, anything is picking out color combinations. I'll show a snap of these because this is what I got this 8th or 9th grade as a gift from my cousin's boyfriend at the time. It's Only Revolutions by Mark Danielewski, and really interesting. I know you can hardly see, but all the words are backwards. And so what it is I believe it's Haley and Sam. I haven't picked this up for a long time. I think Haley and Sam. Excuse me. Yeah. So it'll say in her words, and then you flip it around, and it'll be in his words. And it's a really neat book. And same thing with this, by the same author, Mark Z. Danielewski. And got this. This was one of my very first Amazon purchases, when Amazon was pretty much just books. I got this, and Encyclopedia of Symbols, which I still have and use to this day, House of Leaves, but every page is structured totally different. Very ADD friendly book. I love when people mess with words and structures, and that's actually how I came to receive it as a gift. He was like, "Oh, I know you like words," and then he handed it to me, and it was just like one of those things that I'll never forget. And the next time I was there, I accidentally got Gorilla Glue all over their rug. Yes. I saw someone doing that. I'm trying to learn timing for music, so that's not, it's pretty tone deaf and tune deaf. I'll be totally honest. At least I really think I am. In middle school, when we all play instruments, I played flute and clarinet, but then I quickly switched to drums. And during that same era is when I had my first band. It was my cousin's band. The first one was called The Underprivileged, and then the second one was Edward's Despair. This is middle school. And we actually got to play at almost got to play at the talent show, if you will. But we came in, it was a small Catholic school, and we showed up with drum set, the guitars, amps, everything. But we also, like, showed up in plaid and spikes and pyramids, and they told us we weren't allowed to play at the talent show. Still mad. I'm not mad, I'm just very disappointed. It's probably an odd thing to read this one, but I used to store all of my packaging stuff with cinnamon. Don't really have a place yet. Don't have a packaging place or spot right now because I haven't really been. I just reopened my Etsy and I just like to take pictures. There's a big old bag of fur, scraps, waste. I'm knocking all kinds of stuff down. Oh, I was like, it was such shake, but this is one I haven't turned into a maraca yet. Coconuts. A lot of times, if you see a dry coconut, you can open it and it'll have the perfect. And what I do is I just take something big that could be a piece of a wire hanger, anything. Look at its face. It could be a wire hanger, anything, and you just do one of these motions to knock out anything, and then you could just like dump it out and then replace it with rice, beads, anything that you want to make noise. I was ooh, I got hiccups or something. Excuse me. I just had a really healthy sip of iron brews. That's probably it. Here's the shell that I found not too long ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. There's a short. I was walking, just taking a video. There's a ton of wild taro and a bunch of other native plants. Well, wild taro isn't native, it's actually I think a category 1 invasive here. Ooh. There's a straight up rocket. Ooh. Okay. I've had this for a really long time. I thought it was long since empty. I have a big old box of shells here. This is my biggest one of these I found. I should have entitled this stream Show and Tell. I'm a crafter. Moving out to the Florida swamps. Other than Snapple, I really don't have anyone to show this stuff to, and this sounds so sad, but I like finding things, and I feel like naturally people, you like to show stuff. And in case anybody wants anything, because I'm trying to downsize majorly, and trying to figure out what to do, because garden-wise, kind of like in the waiting game right now. I could be doing a mulching, but I really want to get these seeds sprouted and into larger pots before I start more, because right now just until there's more water, which will be any time, but until then I have to be sure that I could take care of anything potted, because sometimes I do plant too much and I can't keep everything watered, and nobody likes, it sucks going up there and finding a tray that you forgot about just fried. Trying to get this glue off. I don't have any form of what do you call it? I forgot what I already forgot the name of it, that chews glue away without like injuring the wood. The only reason why I'm desperate to do so is it's all one. There's no like metal or bearings on it, and I thought that was really nice. Just found it in a box. A friend was gonna throw away stuff, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting. It had shells on it, but I've already taken off the shells because it was crushed. So the shells, they were limpets, giant limpets. They were crushed and shattered. So I got this off, and it's been kind of just piling stuff in here. So now that there is a guitar, I can start strapping these to my legs again. Because it's amazing. 5 years. My guitar it was knocked over one too many times. I have an electric guitar, but I don't really have any pedals, and my amp it sounds like dehydrated cheese or something. And I needed to get my guitar fixed, but it's in a sweet spot. So I think 300 was the lowest I could find it repaired, which I'm in total understanding of that, because it's in a not an easy place to fix, and it's yeah, it's really like surgery. So I understand that, but here's some of the shells from here. I have never done this many of these, and I'm fixing to look. Me too. It's like, well, what I've at least tried to start doing is, I always tell whoever it's gonna look worse before it gets better, because I put everything in a pile, and then I just bring out my inner child and have the time of my life, going through every object. And it doesn't matter how, like, simple the object is. This bag of scrap stuff, but I can't bring myself to get rid of it. I have to finish some of these. I tried to get into, I guess, like, not necessarily burlesque. Yeah, like burlesque costumes. Because I like to make a little something for everyone. And pretty much everything I make, it's the same philosophy. Scraps, using what I can, and what I can, what's this stuff on? Oh, shoot. But it's a watermelon slice. I haven't finished it. I have the other side done. And it's got an old buckle. And, I mentioned it a while ago in a stream. Never got a chance to show it. There's a bunch of little unfinished stuff like that. I have adopted, unfortunately, a system of Ziploc files, if you will, because I really can't figure out a better way. This is the first time in a long time that I've lived so far from yards or thrift stores, yard sales, any of that. So I really have to use like what I could come across. Hence and the Ziplocs will be reused over and over again. But I feel you there. Right now I'm trying to find shelves, and the issues I'm having with shelves is everything is particle wood, and it's Florida, and sometimes water comes in here, and it will just instantly expand, and the humidity will even make it expand. It's really humid. And then on top of that, either they just are very expensive for something that won't fall apart, like very expensive, like over $1,100 for like a decent shelf. I think the cheapest I could find was $800 IKEA record shelf, but it's particle board. And I had one for the longest time. It was so sturdy, and it really didn't feel like it was going to be destroyed in that kind of way, but they don't deliver that one. And so it's definitely like being cluttered in here for me personally is like unavoidable right now. It drives me nuts. Because sometimes I am like just playing Jenga and everything is falling. Or sometimes I lost my headphones. And can't necessarily just replace them, so, you know. I've been using my game, and I just put my phone here. But it gets caught and everything, so I'll be over here and the light is falling. It's, yeah. It stresses me out too, but that's definitely new. And shelves, I really want shelves because I'm the type of person, I could never stick with one type of craft, so I haven't mastered any crafts. That's why I lovingly call myself a jackass of all trades, because I dabble, but that means like I use a few different craft methods or techniques, what have you, for like one piece. So in my mind, I need every craft supply that I own accessible at all times, much like a surgical room. And that's actually like goals with and like the little carts and just everything super organized. Finally got these. My dad found these on the side of the road. He was a little buzzed at the time and told me I could have them, so he regrets it dearly, but I don't understand because this had two more and he threw them away because it didn't fit on his truck. I really don't know, I don't pretend to. But yeah, that has helped so much because one is just glue, one is just that, but it got really overfull so now I can't really get anything without everything falling out. But baby steps. Check that a little too fast. Oh no. And I keep finding. Aw. I thought this was a box of paper scrap, but it turns out there's a ton of pictures in it. Moving out here, I didn't really take all my personal stuff because I was more so worried about craft supplies and having those out. But now I just, that's so cool. Keep finding my old family photos. My grandpa was a photographer, so a photographer for the Marines, and so he took pictures of absolutely everything, and decades and decades of his pictures. And sometimes they're a little, regular. Not sure who took this picture. I'm not even sure who that is. That is brilliant. Maybe I could zoom in a little bit for this. Interesting. Oh, I found a bunch of pictures of Princess Diana and Weird Al. A friend of mine had a warehouse, and someone, it was like his friends were somebody's warehouse, and it was abandoned, and it had boxes and boxes of pictures from the National Enquirer, and I tried for hours, and actually I got to go there a few different occasions, and I tried every single time to find the L box for Bruce Lee, because that would be immense, but I wasn't able to, and but I got a ton of Weird Al and a ton of Princess Diana, like boxes, well, not boxes, like a box. I don't really know what to do with them, never did. The building had a anthrax threat and back long time ago, and those pictures were sitting in that building ever since, and then they were moved down here to Florida. Here's this, I talk about this houseboat a lot. It's cool to have a picture. Oops. You can't really see, but this houseboat was in the Lake Worth Lagoon, right by my grandparents' house, and anytime like the tide was low enough, we were able to go in, and there's all kinds of stuff in it. I found a little hand wooden carved Buddha. It's my uncle and his then wife, but very 80s. Florida. 80s Florida. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. What's that? Just a guy. Butch down in, I don't know what it says. Butch down in something. I'm guessing that's Butch. I should just like switch the camera around. What is in here? Oh wow. Cool. Do it later. My grandma developed film in the U.S. Marines, and my grandfather was a photographer. So that is how they met. And they're actually from Camp Lejeune, which has that huge lawsuit going on right now. Here I am in a pool, like, gosh, 10 years ago? Maybe even longer, actually. I have no idea. Time for me. Oh, here you go. I had this haircut for my entire life. That was a homegrown haircut. It's got some water damage in this picture. Yes, I was told on a few occasions I looked like a mushroom. Yeah, oh, okay, I know what happened. He's got, something leaks in all my pictures. And a ton of pictures from the Georgia Paleontology Museum, but they all got destroyed. But, you know, they're gonna be used for an art piece, so all's not lost. I usually wouldn't use. Science fair experiment. There's that hair again. Damn, this sucks. Oh, yeah. Fruit. Oh, great. That's my drum set. I get to show Snappo now. Where's that hair again? Here's my grandpa. Kind of the best human. Definitely the best human I've ever known. He had this one saying, in medials are, in clay none are, in pine tar is, in oak none is. Smoking. That's me. I never got to show my childhood pictures to anyone. I'm an only child, personally, so. Oh, nobody's gonna know who this is. Well, anyway, how about I just show me? That's me. Wouldn't you have been concerned? The sadness. I try to zoom in a little bit more. The sadness. I can try to find more of those. Those ones are hilarious. I gotta get in here now. Found this from the 60s. Better Home and Gardens book, and it's really beautiful. Now, that's one thing. Excellent music taste. Went through small little middle school, but, like, I remember my ears went back to normal, because I didn't gauge them too large. Like, I could fit my finger, but, like, my middle school finger, and, my parents were home. No, just kidding. But my mom was very, very like relaxed when it comes to like expression with clothes. My mom was a disco queen and a little fashionista. Quite literally bankrupted her family thanks to Fendi. Like, but you know, I was a child. But I'm not complaining because that's actually how I got into upcycling and making my own stuff anyway. And I don't know if I didn't have that desire to have unique items, if I would have put much effort into making them. I'm not sure. Yeah. I know I'm gonna run into it. A lot. Such a jerk. Some of them are just like being a weird face. I mean, there's me as a princess. Part of my life. Where's that hair again? Here's my cousin, my mom, and I. But there's some pictures I really want to show. They're very artistic, if you will. One of our favorite movies at this time is Ginger Snaps, and not many people have seen it. It's a Canadian like werewolf movie, but it's got a little bit of a cult following. Turns out, I looked it up recently, and then I saw Ginger listed in like greatest female something or other. I will hide the face of the one person because it's somebody. But that's my cousin. Remember Distillers? Let me get the Distillers shoe. Oh my god. That era I can remember a lot of like Rancid, Distillers. I liked Distillers. I liked the like with Birdie Armstrong or Dolly. Alkaline Trio, of course. I still really like their old albums. I trade their old albums. And, The Cure, Bauhaus, there was a huge debate on that. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I always loved Roxy music. And, AFI. And, I listened to a few songs the other day, because I wanted to, I've been making, the last few things I made with pixel art were album covers, and I did Days of the Sorry or something like that. I forgot already. Old AFI album I remember when I was in 4th grade, because I was an only child, so I always was with my cousin and her friend, and so I was blessed with really good music all around. And my parents pretty much only listened to like Boston, Zeppelin, of course. Any old rock and roll, if you want. I don't know what else to call it. Old school? I'm not sure. I'm not the best. I like every genre, but I don't really know what quantify as what. House to finance. That's so fun. Oh, is this the phone? This is a cool picture. I love the Halloween shots. Yeah, classic rock. There you go. And like ZZ Top and Ted Nugent. Which Stranglehold is an amazing song. I don't know what people are. It really is. Frank Zappa and there's someone else that played the flute. Oh, what's his name? Penguin and Bondage is Frank Zappa. Just like a penguin and bondage. This is wild song. But this, I believe, though, the Mercedes, this is the ship that crashed into Palm Beach at a woman's beachside property. I believe in the 70s or 80s. I cannot remember. But my grandpa was the one who was watched the boat. Like, I'm sure a bunch of people were watching it, but all kinds of cats came off of it. And it's a really cool little piece of Florida history. Should probably take the frame stuff out. Oh yeah, I should put this up somewhere. Found this at a yard sale, 1971. 3 Valentine's Day cards. And someone just threw them in a frame. Jethro Tull, thank you! Yep, that is exactly who I was thinking of. Jethro Tull. That music is 70s, 80s. That's probably 60s to 80s, really. Probably it's like what I listen to most. The stuff that I grew up with always ends up on the speaker. Pinback, of course. I think they just toured too. Pinback is I believe they're from San Diego. They're bigger in the 90s and early 2000s, I think. I don't know. I never really meet anybody who, but they're really, really good. And especially if like you like sci-fi or like, I don't know. It's two main dudes and they produce the most lovely sounds together, and then they have like their friends fill in the for live shows. But a lot of bass and like the one, I think his name is Armistead. I love that dude's sounds. Little sounds. But okay, I don't know if I should even show these, but we were quite crafty. I think it's like 5th, 6th grade, maybe 6th grade. We took a series of very Halloween, it wasn't even Halloween, it was like in the middle of the year. We took some death shots because we wanted to do special effects. We were in middle school. And here's me playing dead under a lawnmower. And we came up with the perfect mixture of, it looks too real. Seeing it in the phone, like, ever so distorted makes it look haunting. Here's my mom. And she was like 23. Oh, no, probably like 30. Jesus. That is like right before I existed. Here's another. I don't know like why concern wasn't raised, but here's me in 5th or 6th grade. And I was just, you know. Oh, me and my cousin's dog. I think I was in 6th or 7th grade. It's a tiny little Catholic school. And I'm not showing that one. Ha! I didn't change much though. Someone actually painted this. I really should grab my computer and put a link to it in the chat. Someone just painted this. I posted it on Instagram, and my friend's friend, who's an excellent artist, is always looking for subjects to paint, and social media is, gosh, perfect for artists. I didn't even think about that really until right now. But, painted it, and let me just grab, the computer's right up there. I don't think I've ever been painted before. So it's quite an honor, and he paints like a lot of people, pets, places, and I always see people tagged, so I'm guessing it's a common practice. I honestly wish I could afford it, because that would be pretty funny. It feels so fancy. I do have a painting of my mom from the 70s. Oh, here she is. Oh, there it is. And that was just painted by someone on the side of the street. Like one of those paint your portrait, but like in the gym. She said it only took like less than an hour. Okay, so I guess Instagram? No, let's do the Facebook. Let's see if it's publicly posted. I didn't put these stickers on it. It came that way. And some of them are just quite concerning. One of them says, put some breast milk on it. I just wonder if people notice that. Which, although love and respect to mothers out there, that is beautiful. What does that do? But I noticed that Facebook now has AI, and I don't know if anyone's noticed that. That's why. Oh, I should. Oh, okay. I'm good for a little bit. The search bar in like Facebook, the app. Let's see. Yeah, it's public. There's the this that how do I just get the link? You could get links to these kind of things. It's hot in here. Let's gonna get some fresh air and do like a quick garden tour. I want to start doing the garden tours because then in a few months or a few years could look back on it and see all the difference. Because things go really quick. But granted, I still think everyone deserves like a long time of recovery from. We all went through a pandemic. It still trips me out. I can't even think about it that much because holy trucks, like movies. And we were like watching it before it broke out. Like only a few people that I've talked to like remember seeing the videos coming out of before anything broke out here of people like passing out in the middle of the street and stuff like that. And but yeah, definitely give that dude a follow if you're into art. And I keep meaning to add it to. I have a website called Subtropical Botanica, and anybody who has a small business or social media that they want to promote, I have a small and local directory on it already, and that's for small and local businesses. And free of charge, obviously. It's literally just a page of websites. And, you know, because I'm not really promoting the site anyway, so it's kind of like a, just, why not have links, you know? It's not going anywhere, so I'm more than happy. And, I would have almost put the bins on this. Whoa! And I would have never found this again. Oh, I guess I could have rewatched this. I tend not to rewatch this stuff. I'll go on the day after because it takes 24 hours for the stream to catch up with the chat, or the chat to catch up with the stream so you can see the chat. Just to make sure I didn't miss anything, because sometimes y'all be giving like the best recommendations. Sometimes I forget to screenshot it right down. So I usually go back for that reason. I think I'm going to need. I think I'm going to need some jars. Oh. Oh, okay. This is the only one I found, but I found. I think it's a different species. I thought it was the same until just this very second, but they're not perfect. I really like that one. But I got some new ones, but I think, so, okay, this is a perfect example. This is the largest one of these I've ever found. They're usually, usually that would be the largest. I usually find them quite small. And they have beautiful prints on them. Some of them are like a cow, which I'm still trying to 100% if they're the same species. And, because as you can see, there's quite an abundance of different stuff. Like the scallop shells could get really patterned and really vibrant. And I already forgot what these are called. I need to just write them on pieces of paper. But that yellow is super vibrant and of course very, very intense colors. And even the fragments I keep, these ones are mostly a whole, but the fragments I keep because they're really good for resin crafts. And instead of using glitter or something, you know, one less thing to buy, because then you're going to want every color. Like, I want every color. But if I don't have a color now, well, not now, I'll just use plant matter. So I have a really interesting color flower called plumbago, which is really common here in Florida. And it's like an indigo purple, lavendery purple. I'm trying not to look at myself because then I overthink it. But it's like a lavendery purple, and that dried and put in resin, it's gorgeous color. And then, I mean, you can use mica, all kinds of stuff to color resin, paint. Food coloring, I have found that doesn't work. But there's a time and a place you can use it for like fake blood or something, because it doesn't disperse. Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe there's different kinds of food coloring. I'm sure the powdered kind would work perfectly, but the liquid, maybe it's alcohol based or something, because it just doesn't do anything. I'm trying to get batteries for this. My childhood lamp. I was really into Coleman stuff, anything camping related, and even we didn't do much camping as a kid. We did when I moved out and stuff like that, but as a kid didn't. Only in the front yard. There's a tiny little like rough house, which is, I love the area. It's these little Florida houses. But the yard is really tiny, and a very busy street, so that's cool. I had fires in the front and stuff like that, but the camping is really nice, really nice during the spring. There's even one in like Worth campgrounds. There's a communal fire pit, and they ask you not to make your own fire, but if you have a whole fire, they do not bother you. Maybe they're anal after everything, and a lot of the places I've noticed haven't reopened yet, and like certain kayaking and canoe trails and campsites, and because after this pandemic, the trails and stuff couldn't necessarily be cleared, and there are tons of pines falling in at every second of the day, so I understand. They probably have a ton of work to do. And there's so many nature preserves and stuff, so, you know, there's always a place. So I was just thinking about that, I guess. Like this. I don't know what to do with these. I love them, but they're kind of getting to a point. Well, they've been to a point where it's kind of falling apart, but nothing falls off of them. Just some bugs. They're really nice. They have a little bud on them. But yeah, they're really nice, especially like just sitting on something where it could just. They could just exist. I like their eyes a lot. I think that's really fun. It's so simple. It's just a few threads. But look how expressive they are. When I saw them, I couldn't pass them on. photography lights. These are my grandpa's. I got most of his photography stuff and shopping it around since I could remember to keep it from going to the garbage because I really want to learn how to develop photography. And I grew up seeing the process, and I just, it's one of those things I want to learn from someone. I think with the more more development also brings like more classes and different form of like sewing classes, because there's more people, so there's going to be more things to do, and so that's the bright side. The downside, of course, is no longer seeing the Milky Way, but you know, that's what the top of mountains are for, or something. Just kidding. These clips are my last pair, because I lose them. They don't have any rubber on the inside, so they slip. Really. I don't know what else to do with my hair. I just like to keep it out of my face. That's the only goal. It's really windy here, and if I try to like curl it or anything, it just falls like 2 seconds later. So, what is this? Oh wow. My grandma. Oh no, that's not. My grandma's sister looks identical to my grandma. So many pictures of that I have to go through. I just don't know the best situation. And I have, oh yeah, jar. I think they need their own jar now. So, I have too many of these now. Which I have a few plans. But, of course, if anybody wants a specific species, I don't really post the shells or anything, but everyone's more than welcome to them, because I know not everyone lives on the shore, and I really just like finding them a lot. And all these are from the rocks, and it was really, really good swimming. It's a olive shell, but they're just really satisfying. I always put shells in like orders and stuff, because it's like a piece of art. Really, it's a little sculpture or something. Found a few decent turkey wings. And another thing is, it's really interesting, because last time it was all cockles and these other ones I always forget. Another like clam-like shell. And this time it was pretty much all these and the turkey wings. And there's always olive shells. And found a ton of these Scotch bonnets, which are one of my favorites. They're just really quaint. I was supposed to be organizing. Oh yeah. I don't find many Scotch bonnets. So, I have been organizing them as much as I can. I'm trying to fill every wall with shelf, but still haven't got there yet. And it's where I'm from. Like you could drive down the street and there's just furniture everywhere. Small town, so a lot of apartments. So I've left many beautiful pieces of furniture on this area because it just can't fit in the next apartment or something like that. Olive shells. I've been finding these for a long time, but for some reason, I think it was the seaweeds a lot of people weren't swimming. There was just like like in the area that I was, let's just say, there's just a hyper amount of shells. And I know that the small plastic things aren't going to hold all the turkey shells, so I also get their own jar. It's my favorite sport, is beachcombing for sure. And it's like this. And it's gonna, there's they're cat paws. So cat paws. And a few ideas for using them as scales. And these are closed. So they're intact. They just sound so nice. I'm trying to find things like a glue or a drill bit that will make it through these without busting them. They're so satisfying sounding. Can't really. I really like these ones. Cat paws. And for one of the larger ones, I have the power supply over here. I still just need the solution. Got the power supply years ago, but the solution that I tried to make just didn't work. It was, I have a thing of battery acid and I can't get it open. I don't think that's something that you could really like fight with. And so I'm just gonna save it for the solution. Just get as big of a bottle as I can. But I just realized I used the fish tank for actual fish, and that fish tank was actually supposed to be for electroforming, but just too many crafts, too little time, and been working a lot on the chain, which is kind of a piled mess right now, because I've been trying to figure out what charms and how I should do it, because every chain, like, you could take the charm off of it very easily. So. And custom ones are available. It's made with salvage electrical wire, copper, pure copper. I personally really like copper, and the fact that electricity was flowing through this. And all the shells are from the beach, but each chain comes with 3 charms, and the charms, there's a bunch of different ones. So I don't really know how to list them, or on how I'm going to list them. I think they look quite nice. I'm just going to just throw in some examples, and sea glass, and other things. Like I have a ton of old keys, like a lot of different stuff. I really just got finished organizing, because the last thing I was making tons of was resin. So really, the desk that my mess desk, the stuff that I like actually put stuff together on, as for resin, I really think that that would be not only fun to watch, but I got really into UV resin. Mr. Resin makes the best UV resin if you're interested in trying it. It's really good for repairs, all kinds of stuff. And this is it. The crystal clear, hard type, but really good resin. And you just use the UV light, and you know, you don't have to go wild. Like, I know people aren't too into it. It is the fumes it produces when it's curing is very toxic. However, it cures into an inert plastic, and it preserves anything you use it to coat. And foraging and just overall, like, finding stuff. It's really nice to have ways to preserve things forever. And some seeds are very toxic, such as the jacquardi or rosary pea, and I'm able to put it in resin. Peace of mind. Same the black and red one. Very toxic. And this is just a bunch of random stuff. Shells, snake shed, pyrite, a clove. rosemary, Monterey, gold, flake from I think, oh, I forgot. I have to ask for this one because it just adds to the adventure. I find things in the darndest places and I make sure that that's in the product description. And it's absolutely full of stuff. Like, I made someone a custom, they only have one ear pierce, so they just wanted one earring. So I made them one, and they wanted it to be like a gargouille. I call it gargouille. Gargouille, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's a French salad that's just like one petal of this, like one leaf of that, but it is actually beautiful in a weird way, because the colors and the vibrancy is beautiful. And I really like that, like random bits of just vibrant coloring, especially like from nature. And so that's what I was inspired by when I made the gargouille. There's a pair left, I think, on my website. It might be the sold pair, but I have one pair left. But I like making them custom anyway, because that way I'm able to put things, there's fenugreek, things that, like, you know, somebody wants to wear around their neck. And I like the fact that, like, you can make things look really special. This just has a weird shell with carnelian. And every part of it is salvaged copper, even the large, these things. Yes, that would be brilliant. If you want to make organite, my friend, okay, so it's a mix of metals, and I have some left, I think. Oh yeah, I do. My friend CJ makes organite. I haven't seen her in years, but I have a piece from her on my olive tree, but this stuff, it's just metal shavings, great. My friend has a machining business, so he makes like everything from car parts to clip extenders, and that's the metal shavings from it, and it's a byproduct, it's waste, but I always thought this was like excellent for people who make organite, and he has a lot more of it for me, so it's supposed to be taken. Now, sometimes it is a little oily, but I've found it doesn't affect the resin at all. And in fact, it looks quite nice, because some of the stuff I add. This has apatite and one of the metal. It looks really cool in person. And this was just the first attempt. I just threw a spring in it. That is so awesome. I absolutely love organite. And because it's heavy on the copper, which is one of my favorite materials. And a lot of these, where's the lamination? UV resin is brilliant for jewelry and smaller pieces. But let's see, it's a little inspired, and it's the same gold flakes. I think I forgot from an Egyptian museum. I have to really double check that. But there's the copper spirals and a braid I tried to do, and it didn't even come out that good, the braid. But in the resin, when all the stuff is together, I ended up keeping that one, because the braid I was a little self-conscious over. But, really like, let me think. Yeah, because there has to be, a bunch of different metals. Aluminum for sure, stainless steel, a lot of stuff is free. It's free. And it's a really great way to meet your local machinists and stuff like that. And I'm trying to think of others. I'm really into finding byproducts. And organite artists are like the people that like turn byproducts into incredible art. And like the one that's in the garden is a little utilitarian. I was gonna move out there anyway because it's a little hot in here. So this is going to be very awkward because this tripod is much larger. So it's just gonna bang on everything. Oh, fine. Shoot. After all that, I forgot what I was even going out here for. Just when I was like not sure what I'm doing with my life now. It's been out here for over like 5 years. I can see her spiral in it still. It's starting to chip and stuff wild. She said keep it by your favorite plant, and that I did. And she also makes, I don't know if she still makes them, but she was making, I'm scared. She was making organite that looked like stones. So, like she was just making them and putting them in like concrete and then hiding them in stones. I think she referred to it as gifting. But would love to see her organite because that's one of my favorite as like as art. And Wilhelm Reich's studies are fascinating to begin with. She had the cloudbusters and stuff like that. I love copper, so I always thought it was the coolest like possible. That's a little bits. Maybe I should just. It's so hard to operate this tripod. It's so much bigger. It's actually my grandpa's tripod that I used through school. I went to a little film school briefly. As you can see, it didn't teach me much. The place was a total fun. Anyway, oh, I'm gonna try past it. Check on a few things because all I did today was water because I only want to keep it to this table so I know I could make sure everything is good. But the elderberry has rooted and growth coming out of both sides, all the sides. So maybe I should cut it to make, well, but within a week it had buds and roots. That is brilliant. Please do feel free to share anybody's. Social, because like that's why I say bless the internet, because it does connect every dang person, and in my opinion, ideas are like the leading force of humans. Ideas, everything starts off as an idea, and the internet is literally a place to instantaneously share ideas and speak things into existence. Even stuff that like, you know, I'll come up with what I think is a brilliant idea. I'll just like post it somewhere in hopes that it will take off elsewhere. Like countywide, like vet and civilian meetups. Like little like things like that. You know, like I don't know if anybody is interested in it, but I think it would be brilliant, and I think it would be good in every county. Because I've been even trying to find classes that offer just basic. It's gonna sound silly, but basic survival training for just your average Joes. Because like fighting classes would be fun, but something that's more like well-rounded, like what teaches you how to tie strategic knots and swim if your like shoulders out of order, stuff like that. And when I mentioned it in a comment, someone said that the liability would be insane on that. It's like, that is true. But I would sign anything, dang it, anything. Tying some strategic knots, heck yes. How to ascend not too quickly. That was something that I learned the other day just watching a video. Like if you have to dive to intense depth, you can't resurface so fast, and that's why they deploy the egg beater kick. So you're ascending at a constant, but you're not ascending too quickly. And a lot of the comments were like, why was he swimming like that? Stuff like that, and that was the reason. I was like, wow, that is wildly fascinating and very good to know. And yeah, my phone is dead, but I'm gonna charge it. I wanted to do a garden tour just to show everything as it is at this very moment, and try to do that at least once a month maybe, and to show how fast this stuff grows. Because like for instance, this is way taller than me. The southern hibiscus, that's just one part of it. See? This one. Every branch is a new tree. It grows just as easily as mulberry or chaya or cassava, as in you break a branch and you put it in soil. And this grew instant shade, instantly. And it grew so fast, all these branches I had to remove because it was covering the ginger. And the ginger wanted way more sun, and it was just, giving up on life. And the branches I removed are already full trees. I'm just gonna take this off. Freedom! The branches, here. Remove these. And this has grown so much since I removed these branches. See, these branches are tiny, but they would be much larger if they stayed on the tree. All new growth. So these are ready to go to a new home. Same thing with this yellow alder. I have some pothos. The leaf is dying, but you see the new growth is coming out. Always fun. Just gonna start adding it to stuff. This is all full sun right now. So I wanted to check on this. So, this have fallen out a while ago. This is used to, yes. This cat has got it. What does that mean? What does that mean in cat? I don't know what she gets into. Hi. Get it. Get it. She's from a Gucci pet store. Where is she? She's from a Gucci pet store. She's actually, it wasn't mine, but her original owner moved out of state, and, I didn't want her to go to a shelter, but she decided before that she was outdoors. And, this is in Lake Worth where there's cars everywhere. Oh. Cars and drunks. It's a little bar town. There's so many bars in Lake Worth. But also a beach town, a ton of art galleries and a ton of antique shops. I was like, what else is there? The no poinciana. It's gonna stay in a container. I'm growing it for the seed pods because they make excellent maracas. And I'm growing this just because I love Boston fern or sword. Oh, yes! 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 So, that's purslane. And it's finally, this whole time I was wondering where purslane is. I haven't gotten any rain. And it's usually at the end of the carport where it'll start popping up, and that's when I'll move somewhere and grab seeds. I love purslane. I think it's delicious. And it's a really popular wild edible. Like even in Walden, Henry David Thoreau's Walden, He mentions purslane salads, but there it is, purslane. So I'll wait for that to grow nice and big. And the Boston fern has an edible tuber. It's like a tuber. Let's see, there's some right here. It's like a tuber, but it's more like a raw potato in texture. Interesting. Yeah, see it? From a Boston fern. See? They make these weird little tubers. And I don't know if it's like one of those things that it has to be big and brown to eat. So I mean, I'll find a larger one. They just taste like raw potatoes. My cat is so it's so cool. Hi, cat. She has been a blessing though, because there's so many snakes out here. A lot of snakes. A lot of anything, everything. And she's just a really tough cat. You'd think she would be like one of those, based on where she's from, a very spoiled, like, definitely indoor cat, but no. She has zero interest being an indoor cat. Make sure there's no poison ivy. There is. Yeah, look at that big one. I'll show you. My phone's pretty much dead, but you see it big and furry? But they're just like a raw potato. They don't really taste like much. Kind of like almost. That's actually the tastiest one. I don't know, a long time. This gun. That one tasted like a not at all sweet pear, but with a little sweetness because it's a pear. That was a horrible description. But really neat. Better pickled. And take a lighter and burn all the hairs off. And you could even take like anything to just try to wipe some of the skin off. But yeah, pickled or anything. Look at how cool the roots look. I'm gonna try to zoom in. The roots inside are really intense looking. Really neat. Google Lens. I don't know one plant for Google Lens. I was actually talking to someone in a plant identification group about this because they were saying their plant ID group wasn't showing up with the same result. And I was like, have you tried Google Lens? And they're like, yeah, but that's like even worse. It's like, no. Have you tried Google Lens with the search? Like, if I Google Lens, like any of these plants, it won't show up with the right one. But if I add Florida to the search, so far it's been every single time, even plants I've never been able to ID previously. Really interesting. And it comes up with the Florida, the University of Florida first, so like their results first. And really, it's been really useful. So you can now add, I don't know if you could do this a while ago, I guess I just didn't know this, but you could add your actual area to the search picture, and it greatly, it worked really well. Because usually I would just use groups on Facebook and wait a few hours to a few days. They're usually quite quick. Plant identification and destruction. Plant identification and destruction. Plant identification and discussion. Jeez. But I guess let's 100%, that's it. Most of the plants that I choose to grow is pot it, let it root, and then like all these, even this tiny little branch, that will be a new tree. This is Chia tree spinach. Weird change. Why? Yeah, weird change my ass maybe. But they keep deleting my comments. They didn't delete the last one. I had to post it multiple times because I'm trying to get cassava and Chia tree spinach put in to anybody in Zone 10, and I know they're based in, well, Luke Drzazowski is based in Florida, but they kept deleting my comment. I'm not trying to, I was like, if anybody wants these cuttings, like, feel free, and just kept deleting them. Like, what the heck? That's not how you enact change. I don't know how you enact it. But anyway, offer stands if anybody needs. It's great, how do you say, like, food security. This is a perennial, it goes nowhere. And these year-round leafing, just boil it twice. And you just do your own research before you eat anything anyway. And this is Chia, Chaya, or tree spinach. And got both varieties, this one, and then the one with the broader leaf that's easier to use for, like, in place of grape leaves. And cassava, which is a huge root, like a giant, it's just huge. It's a huge root. And the plants themselves are really large. And it's the same thing. You could just break the branches off, like this will be, gosh, about 10 new plants. Because from here, one of these, oh, there's silver dollar. If you see this in parks, grab it and put it in your own yard. It's edible and it's really good. Make sure it's silver or dollar weed, but real quick. And all these will be, every notch will grow a new Chia. So anybody wants, like, for real, this will be Chia. It is very, very, and it grows in containers. I'm going to pull some up. I'll, like, either restart a stream or just film it. But that one's in the ground, so that one's that's probably a huge root under there. But see, it grows crazy, and it's all Chia. Oh, it's kind of scary, honestly, because it grows so fast, and it falls, grows. And this is the cassava, or the Chia, which you can see is a beautiful tree. It's flowering for the first year, but these nice broad leaves, really good. I love it. I love greens, but when you get them from the start, well, my experience is I get spinach, and 2 seconds later, it's slime. It's like a fishy slime, and so, isn't it? Isn't it? Snappa. Of course, Snappa likes the snap with the cassava. But yeah, so if any kids come trick-or-treating this year, they're getting cassava cuttings. I don't think I've ever seen a trick-or-treat. It's nice. That's freaking huge. This was a 6-inch cutting from eBay. I'm starting to get rambly because my phone's about to die. Like, really, for real. But it won't show me the percentage. There's just a icon in the way to show it's live, which it's a green camera in place of, like, vital information. Doesn't make sense. But thank y'all for joining me, and Angela, feel free to come back, and Steven, dude, that sounds like paradise. Beets. That's one thing I really want to try to grow is beets. And I noticed as soon as I hit live, I tried to do a poll, but there isn't a poll. There's just questions, and you have to choose a correct answer. But I want to do more of those because that was such a treat. And yeah, I have a problem. I have a hard time making decisions sometimes, and I was like, wow, that you would just. But anyway, I'm gonna get this on the charger and get some food, and yeah, happy trails. And let's see. Oh, militant roots. I didn't even see. Hope you have a beautiful day. And yes, I'm having a beautiful day. It's just my little creation station is kind of cluttered right now, and so I was like, maybe that is the source of my creative block, because it's quite literally not creatively blocked, I'm just like creatively cluttered. But I really want to get back to making some pieces, and oh yeah, I got my buzz. It's 2 seconds. I counted. 2 seconds. It's just ironic. That's my made-up name, made-up time. If anybody asks me when, I'll be like, oh, 2 seconds. So it's 2 seconds. Anyway, happy trails. Thank you all for joining, and feel free to find me at Facebook, KYNTO, Instagram, and see you on YouTube. So never hesitate. Happy trails. And get soon.